Alright guys, we are back. Going to be taking you through week 2 today of the program. Going to be going over some axle cleans, log cleaning presses, sandbag carries and a few accessories as well. I think we're about 6 weeks out now from the Perth competition. So I weighed myself this morning. I'm actually sitting at about 86 kilos. So it's a pretty good range to be training at. And hopefully I can maintain that for the next 3 weeks. And then look at cutting down for the competition. But overall feeling pretty good. Body's feeling okay. I had a bit of a niggle in my back from the sandbag session on Friday, but it's kind of gone down now, so we'll see how we feel today anyway. This drink, cracker. I think there's only about 100 milligrams of caffeine in there, so I like to have 2 of these, but pretty good flavor. It's getting colder these days now, moving into winter, so got to make sure I warm up properly, make sure I get a sweat on first before I actually start lifting some weight. So yeah, not looking forward to winter time. So I'm actually keen to see how the session goes today. I haven't touched the log since November last year at New South Wales Strongest, and that was 95 kilos and I was just vipering that, so that felt pretty good. We're going to try and do something similar like that today because we're going to be doing an axle and log medley. So we're going to do 1 rep of the axle into the log, back into the axle and then into the log again. So we'll see how it all feels. We're going to be using the 12-inch, that big boy over there, and then a normal axle as well. So keen to see how we go. We're going to warm up, mobilize, and then see how we go. Alright, so one of my favorite overhead warm-ups is these bottom-up kettlebell presses. So holding the kettlebell just like this, stacked underneath your forearm, pushing straight up, and then control all the way back down. And this is going to really work all the stabilizing muscles around the shoulder joint. Just going to start with the 10-inch first. Do some warm-up sets, get a feel for it again. Then I'll move into the axle as well. So always the first session back to log, it feels a little bit weird. So just gotta make sure I get the balance right, get a feel for it as well in that front rack position. It's really wobbly. Alright, so the 10-inch log weighs about 43 kilos, I think, 43 kilos. So it's pretty light. We're gonna go up to the 12-inch now. That's 75 kilos empty. So we're gonna try that out. We're gonna go up to 50 kilos on the axle, see how it moves. Big boy. It's a big boy. Now the reason why I like to use this axle with no grip is because there was a competition where I had the axle clean and press, and I was using the bar that has all the knurling on it. Actually, I'll show you. This bar here, and it fucked me because I was so used to training a bar with grip that when we got to the competition, when I was doing the axle cleans, it was heavy cleans, it kept slipping and I kept getting called for a belt clean. So now in training, I try to make it as hard as I can for myself using like a smooth bar, for example. That way when I get to the competition, and in the case they don't have a bar with no grip, I'll be used to it. If I do have a bar with grip, even better for myself. But you gotta train and think smart like that as well. You gotta make sure you're preparing properly for your competitions and all circumstances, because in strongman, they can chuck curveballs at you and change certain equipments and that kind of stuff. So you just always gotta be ready. Alright, okay. Alright, so that was 40 kilos and 75 on the log. So we're gonna go up to 80 kilos on the log. We're gonna try 50 kilos on the axle. See how that goes. I do want to kind of work up to something a bit heavier on the axle, so I think if we can try and aim for maybe about a 70 kilo axle and then an 85 kilo log, that would be pretty good. Clean the press. Just throw my eye. Woo. Alright, first set went well. We had 70 kilos loaded on the axle, and then I think it was 85 loaded on the log. So it felt pretty good. Viper was much better this time. So what we're going to do, we're going to push it up to 80 for the axle, and then we'll go 90 for the log. Let's fucking send it. Alright, so just finished up with those medleys. Everything went well. Bit of a slight niggle in the shoulder today, feeling a bit tight there, so I'm just going to back off a little bit, get a good single at the log, and then a few back downs, then go through accessories after that. Alright, so that was 95. We're going to go up to 100, and then I'll see how that moves. Alright, so that's overheads done. Medley went well with the axle and the log. Hit a single on the log and then some back down. So everything went pretty well, feeling pretty cooked. So just gonna take it easy on the sandbags, nice and light. Probably just keep it at 100. Do a few laps at 40 meters and then accessories after. Half the fucking issue doing strongman is setting up the equipment and then putting it back. The log is such a mission. Sandbags are the biggest mission. So watch this. Alright, that's Monday's session complete. That was a bigger session than I thought. Maybe pushed the overheads a little bit too hard, as I always do. But look, overall feeling pretty good, and hopefully have a good rest of the week. Catch you guys around.